And welcome to the Janea Netball Stadium here in Sydney. We are attending the 34th Annual Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Association Champs. We are coming to you live from Show Court, covering the Men's Reserves Division. This is a playoff semis between New South Wales versus the Southern Dragons. I will be your commentator, Mandy Love. Joining me is South Australian great Steve McInnes, also Australian Sonics assistant coach for the Open Men's. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you very much, Mandy. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited. You must be pumped to see your boys.
Absolutely pumped to see my boys making it this far into the final series. So hopefully they can go one further, get this win today against New South Wales.
I tell you what, it's going to be an extremely tough battle out here. I watched the games last night and also for New South as well. So both tightly contested. I expect a cracker of a game.
Yeah, absolutely. Taz took it right up to New South Wales last night in their final. It was a 2-goal victory in the end to New South to get them here to this game. And so the South Australian boys had quite a heavy loss to the Vic 1 side for that 2 versus 3 spot. So let's see what happens here today.
The men's reserve division has been so close this year as well. It's been incredible.
It is, and it's the biggest competition. There's nine teams represented, so really big competition. And yeah, anything can happen come finals though.
Exactly. So I'll go through the New South Wales lineup. So starting in goal shooter is Mo Hosea, goal attack Phil Tane, wing attack Grant Mailing, centre Brent Ferguson, wing defence Brendan Lloyd, GD Levi Talolua, GK Shane Clark, coach Lauren Wheeler, assistant coach Glenn Coleman, and manager Case November.
For South Australia, we have starting in goal shooter Jared Benbow-Agus, Aaron Edmead, Mark Gorham in wing attack, Tyson Jerry in centre, Justin Smedley in the wing defence position, Lockie Sibic in goal defence with Damien Martin behind him in goalkeeper. The Dragons are coached by Alex Duncan.
Yes, they are. And our officials for today's game is Amy Winchcombe and Daniel Rowe. Reserve ref is Renee Marshall. So here we go. We're coming to you live, proudly sponsored by Game Clothing. Follow us in conversation via the Facebook page, Australia Men's and Mixed Netball Association, hashtag AMMNA 2018, hashtag unmissable netball, which is what we're about to see today.
Absolutely. So we're underway. New South with the first centre pass.
So New South really had to dig deep last night against Tasmania. They were unrelentless, weren't they? Mo Hosea, strong rebound.
No, a couple of missed shots early. That's not what you want.
No, you just got to steady the nerves.
The nerves creeping in, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So I'm going to put a plug out for WA. Mo Hosea is actually a WA boy, just quietly. Played in our mixed teams for the last 2-3 years. Great mid-court drive.
It's a wonderful community, this. Even if you move states, you can still find yourself playing for
absolutely
a netball side, coming away to the national championship still.
Oh, Edmead.
Have to reside in the state you play for.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the only rule.
So Edmead takes that one. That was a centre pass. That was a drop centre pass by the New South Welshman.
Yeah, so not a good start for New South Wales. They wouldn't want that at all. They do a lot of work, the Southern Dragons, through Aaron Edmead in that goal attack position. And they managed to come up with a defensive turnover though, so we could have our first 2 goals scored off centre passes.
Something that's been really noticeable about the New South Wales team in the men's reserves division is that they're just very patient. They do throw the ball around quite a lot on the outside of the circle and inside their shooting circle, just to get it as close as possible to the post.
Yeah, they do work very nicely to the post. They don't want to shoot from too far away. Gives them obviously a much better percentage if they can keep shooting from right under the post.
Just a high percentage shot really, isn't it? Grant Mailing with the centre pass receipt. Passes it. Phil Tane with the loose pass.
They're way over. I'm not quite sure who he was trying to hit with that pass.
I think he was just off balance. So see what the defensive pressure is like from New South.
Good drive out of there by Justin Smedley.
No hands over pressure
ball.
though.
Almost filled by Aaron Edmead.
I have really enjoyed watching the Southern Dragons goal shooter, Benbow Aegis. Aegis, is that how you say his surname?
Aegis.
Aegis, okay. He's been fantastic.
He'll probably correct me on that later. Yeah, he's a good mix. He's got a good solid body and he can move as well. So it's quite a nice combination. He can pick or choose which attribute he wants to go to at any given time on court.
She's got nice widths. Yeah, footwork call on Ferguson. Definitely feel it's just nerves in this late check coming through from
there've been a couple
Lloyd.
of long balls thrown in panic, sort of to get to that 2-second mark holding the ball, and you just have to throw it long and hope. And so we've seen some good challenges as well on those long balls.
Give the front ball. He's right in front.
An obstruction call, but the shot is in anyway, so it doesn't need to be brought back for South Australia.
No, not at
We
all.
have 2-1 here.
Oh, Ed Mead's headband has gone a little bit higher than normal. Likes to wear it across the forehead throughout the week. It's changed unless it's been moved. Looks like there was a good touch there by Clark. Clark does that have the height advantage.
Yeah, quite a huge height advantage. Unfortunately, get the call on that one, so Aaron doesn't have to chase up the crumbs. South Australia will want to watch that cross-circle pass. They won't want to do that too often if they can avoid it, especially high with the likes of Clark in there.
Well, Tallulah also is very savvy at reading the play, and he's one of their main contributors off a centre pass, which we've just witnessed in that play. He's incredibly smart.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter that he's wearing a goal defence bib. Still got to be an attacker and help out where he can.
Yeah, Hosier just nervous on that shot. Just needs to find his rhythm. Footwork on Mailing. And that was done by his own teammate as well, by Smedley. No, Smedley's the wing defence, sorry. That was Lloyd for New South Wales.
Oh, bit of a slippery patch on court there from the warm-up. Aaron just losing his footing. He does have an amazing stretch with those legs, Aaron Edmead. And there's that body hold from Jared Benbolt-Agus there.
And he did a really good job too, making sure that he just timed it just right to sit in that front position.
But keep an eye on him. You will see him use his feet and come out every now and then as well.
Yeah, commanding that ball is Gorham. And now Gorham is also a shooter, isn't he?
He is indeed a shooter, so you may see him swing into that circle at some stage soon. You never know, depending on how the game is going.
Tallulah has to go back to Clark. Need to get more, like there's no one coming through. There's a bit of a wall defense by the Dragons across the transverse line. New South just patient, swinging the ball. Give the feed. Tane for the shot.
Yeah, Dragons not getting anyone forward there to force any pressure on that ball whatsoever. So easy convert for New South Wales.
And that's Phil Tane's first shot of the quarter. So yeah, that's Tallulah that does a lot of the reset work. Sorry, Tallulah, my pronunciation, excuse me. Got to move.
So both teams have actually had the same amount of shots, I think, so far this game, but a 4-2 difference based on those few first nervy shots for New South Wales. But catching up slowly, 3-4 now, SA lead.
As we enter the second 5-minute block in this first quarter. Oh, Tallulah coming through.
Yeah, just a mix-up there from the South Australian boys. Aaron deciding to stop that drive, and Mark wanting him to continue.
Oh, great defense by Gorham. Couldn't collect. Needs to go down court instead of going lateral.
Good pick up there by Lockie Sibic.
Yeah, Phil Tane just caught standing still, wasn't he? Oh, here come the Dragons. Looking for the long ball into Edmead.
Yeah,
there's that great split. Just waiting for that timing on the jump, aren't they? I think they're calling for the towel.
For a towel already? Or no, there's some debris or something on the court that's just being removed here by Aaron Edmead.
Mailing with the centre pass. They're just missing that second phase connection down the court. They're looking lateral instead of down court. Mo Hosier just commanding the ball. Loose pass though. Looks like it was a contact call on Ferguson or an offside. Contact call. Dragons bringing it out. New South really not doing much in terms of defence through that mid-third. I thought they might have been setting up a zone, but they just decided to sag.
Yeah, you don't want to sag on those zones if you can avoid it. You want to be right there up in the face, ready to take any lateral balls and have a good attacking crack at them. Try and get those turnovers.
That's a great transition from Lloyd, bringing that ball down for New South, who did a fantastic job. Mo Hosiag for the score. All right, so now that the teams, I think, have found their rhythm now, halfway into this first quarter, current South Australian Dragons currently lead 5-3.
New South doing well on that transverse line to force the Southern Dragon boys backwards. But keeping possession and keeping patient here. Aaron Edmead with a nice pop there and refeed through his partner in crime in that goal circle, Jared Benbolt-Agus.
He's a little bit unorthodox, isn't he, Edmead? But that's what makes him so good. Like in terms of his positioning, I feel like he plays basketball, Steve. Would that be a fair comment?
No, I don't think he does. He did actually play Open Men's last year, though, in 2017 edition of this championship, who was in my team, playing in the Open competition.
Right, that explains the accuracy of his shooting.
Couldn't commit this year fully, so is in the reserves. Obviously quite a big training load for both of these teams in the lead up to these championships.
Well, most teams have been sort of training very hard for the last 6 months for this very moment, aren't they, for the national champs?
For these finals here, the fitness, the skills, everything, it's all built into getting these boys through these long days of competition, and in particular, the ones at the pointy end of the competition.
Yeah, that's right. You know, being day 6 of the competition, it's not necessarily who is the fittest, it's more about the mentally strong and the mentally resilient teams.
That's right.
Coming into finals netball.
Very nice weight on that feed there. Into Edmead. Means SA push it out to 7-3.
Edmead is definitely the money man for this first quarter at least. Thought there might have been a footwork call.
Yeah, the umpire was just checking some contact in the circle. She didn't actually see that, but that was a very big step there by Mark Gorham.
He knows he's having a bit of a giggle. He knows he got away with one. Umpires aren't perfect. They don't get They're
everything.
Humans too. Oh, great patience.
55 of them here this year.
It's the largest pool of umpires for the AMMNA Championship. That's just reflective of the sheer number of teams in each division. It's been a fantastic week. Now, Steve, you played last night, didn't you?
Did play last night, yes, against Western Australia in our final game. We did not make finals, unfortunately. Finished 5th, the SA Open Men's.
But it's been a great tournament in that Open Men's. It's still tightly contested up there as well, isn't it?
Very tightly contested. The 2 games were on just before this. There was one on this court. That was New South Queensland, which I think was a 1-goal game.
Oh, wow. I know that West Australia only went down by 2 to Victoria.
2 goals up there to Victoria, which was the 3rd, 4th. So unfortunately, Western Australia finding themselves knocked out of finals now, and Victoria going on to play Queensland later tonight.
That's a great feed by Edmead.
Oh, just overcooked that shot. Good contest on the rebounds, and New South come up with it though at ground level and work it out through Grant Maitland.
Hosier having to do a lot of work coming outside the circle, but they need to reset. So I feel like the mid-court for New South Wales just aren't doing enough work between the transverse line and the top of the circle because they're not hitting circle edge.
So that men's open game that we just mentioned will be played tonight at 6:30 down here on the show court. So tune into that if you like. There will also be another men's reserves game at that time slot as well.
Yes.
So we'll wait to see who will be contesting that and tune in for that as well on court 1.
Because that is being played as we speak. I believe it's Ferguson with the ball in the middle third. Tight man-on-man defense by the Dragons. Good connect, though, through to Lloyd. He's done that a couple of times. He's definitely their drive down court. Mailing looking for a contact call. Didn't receive it. Needs to play through the contest. Just needs to settle. So Phil Tyner currently shooting at 100%, 3 from 3. Needs more volume from the shoots. It's not like they haven't had the ball.
Yeah, just haven't had the quality of ball in their attacking end yet.
Bit of a flicker of the lights here in the stadium. Just changes things ever so slightly.
Yep, fair bit of natural light here, but the other light's just coming on to support as well.
Edmead lines up. Contact call on Benbolt.
Just a holding with the arm there, just throwing his arm back a little bit. Dragons wanting to set up now and see if they can get this turnover in the midcourt. Lockie Sibic goes up one down the sideline. Does it beautifully. So New South just needs to stop forcing that ball down that sideline. Lockie Sibic has got a couple in that pocket.
I watched Lockie Sibic play last night and he was fantastic. He just he kept trying, regardless of the score, he was just giving it everything.
Yeah, he just goes and goes and goes. Absolute competitors, these boys.
Oh, Clark just got good timing on that one. Forced Edme to feed outside to the circle edge. Obstruction, though. Needs that discipline. So what I like about the South Australians in their shooting circles is that they share the load. Predominantly, most teams have like the one main shooter, the primary shooter. It's normally the big tall, but it's nice to see that they've got a really good moving circle. And like you said earlier, Benbolt Aegis can also have that holding game as well as that moving circle.
They do work together quite well, these two boys. They have played a fair bit together domestically as well, back at home in South Australia in our AMMNA competition. So Aaron and Jared really knowing each other's games. We're down to a minute 20 or so in this first quarter here. And it's 9-5. South Australia with a chance to score again and make it 10-5.
Swing ball to Gorham. Connects. Just patient build up. Edmead will take that.
Some good hands there by Clark to put that ball back down on that pass from Jared and forced a missed shot as well.
Ferguson connects. That's a better passage of play. Give the ball. Oh, Mo Hosier just hasn't.
He's missed another one, hasn't he?
Yeah, he
So missed a couple at the start, missed that last one there. South Australia have a bit of time to patiently build up here.
Yep.
And see if they can convert and really put a dent in this game already.
It's unnecessary obstruction by Mailing then. And they've got the turnover call here as well, so they can get it down there. They've got 30 seconds, which is more than enough time to send the ball down to the full length of the court to convert to a shot.
Yep, time has been held for them as well, just to get this ball back to where it needs to be, so they will play out the full 30 seconds. And like I say, just need a nice patient build-up here. They scored this last one. Lockie Sivic gets another touch, gives South Australia the chance.
And it's created the turnover as well. There's a lot of talking going on out there.
Umpire's doing well just to control this game.
Gorham looks for the feed, connects to circle edge. They're finding Benbolt very easily. He's got to convert that shot, unfortunately, that he didn't.
Does not so. 9-5 in the first quarter.
Yeah, 9-5. What are your thoughts on the first quarter?
I think Dragons have done very well in defence. They've really made the New South Wales team throw the ball long down the line, which gives their defenders a good chance to come through and take intercepts. And I think that's why we see the 9-5 scoreline. Shooting from New South's also been a little hit and miss.
Yeah, they have. I think from both shooting ends as well. Like both goalers have missed. The only one who's on 100% is Phil Tane from 3 from 3. Got Mo Hosier is 2 from 6. Ed Mead is 4 from 6, and it is Benbolt Aegis is 2 from 5. So it's scrappy. It's scrappy for me. I think that they just need to have a bit more composure on court. Because when they do, they've worked so hard throughout the week that what we're seeing isn't their best netball.
No.
And I think that's more to come.
And it is very nervous netball at this stage.
Finals netball.
Yeah, that's right. The week's on the line, everything they've done to this point.
Exactly. So added pressure.
Comes to a head today for one of these teams.
Oh, so. All right, well, come back to us after the break. Well, let's see if this heats up match with the Dragons currently leading 9 goals to New South Wales 5. We'll be back with you right after this.
Just trying to find when they played last.
Still live.
Oh, here comes the Griffin chat, the Griffin clap. Can you hear that in the other courts?
I can hear the Griffin clap all the way from... Which court are they on there?
I think court... And welcome back to the Janaea Netball Stadium. We are coming to you live from the men's reserves knockout semi-final between the South Australian Dragons versus New South Wales, the home state here. We've got a couple of changes here for the New South Wales team. We've got Grant Mailing moving from wing attack to centre, meaning Brent Ferguson comes off, and Nick Kelly coming off the bench into the wing attack position. Already, Mailing has already been called for obstruction.
No, it's delaying play, call, I think, because New South were late running out onto the court here for the second quarter. And that is actually an automatic caution for the centre as well. The centre takes one for the team on that occasion. Grant Mailing still questioning what that was all about. He's not quite sure, asking his bench.
I love the mini mid-court press that we're seeing here from the Dragons as they bring the ball down. Just looking at the Dragons side, I can't see many changes, if any. I think they've kept their starting 7 on, and why wouldn't you, Steve?
That's right. As a coach, you never really change a winning 7 unless...
Oh, blocked there by Martin. Wow, that was clean ball.
He does that so well.
He did a couple of them last night too.
Such good timing on his jump. He just reads the ball out of the shooter's hands really, really well. So he gets that timing, gets up there.
Mailing got around the circle edge to get that intercept.
Yeah, Tyson Jerry just needed to assert himself there and have a real go for that ball, land on the circle edge. He probably would have gone his way, being an attacking game.
Oh, okay, so the wing attack that has come on Kelly for the New South Wales is also a shooter as well. So I'm wondering if they're looking for more feeds and that bit of height in the mid-court. Oh, great screen and in and out by Phil Tane.
Yeah, really nicely done there on that baseline.
So Phil hasn't missed, so you'd like to see him just turn and go to the post straight away. He's been around for a couple of years. He's an experienced player. He knows what to do in these situations. Footwork call.
They're the little 1% errors you don't want to give up as a team, especially when you're behind already.
And because you need to convert yours and work really hard in defence to turn over that ball when you're sort of down. But it's only 3 goals, so anyone's ball game still.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very young game at the moment. It's still 42 minutes of netball or so to play.
I was saying on some of my earlier calls, you know, when they got up to sort of a 6-7 goal margin, that it's really nothing in it these days. You can get that back in the space of minutes.
No, that's right.
So
2 or 3 turnovers so that you convert.
Lloyd just couldn't handle that possession.
Get handed the ball every second centre pass as well. So
yeah.
Plenty of possession to be had.
Jerry did a really good job there contesting that ball. Now you want to see the Dragons just starting front position. Some of them got caught behind their player. So good defense at the moment, and Talulua comes through, creating that turnover. Phil Tane draws that contact.
Yeah, just getting a little bit loose with some of these passes now. Maybe trying to rush a little bit too much.
They just need a steady.
Yeah, I just want to see the experienced heads out there, just get the boys to steady as best they can. Good follow on the shot there.
And rebound.
Fantastic rebounds on that follow.
Well, Hosey is also a defender. He's actually a specialist circle defender.
Okay.
So he can shoot. He's been moved into shoots, but has played at both ends during the national championships this week.
All of South Australia just getting stuck on the one sideline here, which is dangerous.
And they just have to centre that. Mailing called again. Ed Mead forcing them back. And got the shot away.
So that's the first goal for South Australia in this quarter.
It's been a bit of ping-pong netball, but they just need to steady. I think they're starting to get their rhythm now. Held ball, great D by the Dragons.
A lot of experience back there in defence for South Australia. I should say Damien Martin, who's coming up to take this pass now, was also an opens player last year as well.
Right.
Was doing a lot of travelling before this tournament as well, so was one that couldn't fully commit to the opens team. So he's come in at reasonably late notice into this South Australian reserve side and done very, very well for them.
Oh, the New South do such a great job driving out of their defensive end through Lloyd. and then they have to fling it all the way back to halfway. I wish they would just keep it in the goal third. There's no need to reset that one.
Yeah, you did see them move that ball very, very quickly, though. Still had the South Australian head spinning, even if they did have to go backwards.
Chalulua trying to cover that second phase. This is better defense now.
Absolutely. New South have really
renewed energy.
got a good bit of energy up, haven't they? They're loud. Their bench is loud.
Oh, great
I can hear their bench to my right in my headset more than I can hear you.
Oh, really? Well, all I'm seeing across from me is just the whole block full of Dragon supporters.
Absolutely.
So they are very loud. And it's good to see the support too. Like each team in, like, you know, in finals netball want to have that support from your other state, your other teams in your state.
Yeah, absolutely.
Loose ball from Kelly.
We've got 5 teams here. Ball nearly takes out one of our cameras.
Yeah.
We've got 5 teams here, so 3 of our teams have been knocked out now. So we have the reserves here, and the under-20s will play a game later on tonight. They won their game just before this.
That's fantastic.
Against Victoria, so they've also gone deep into finals, which is really, really good.
WA had 3 teams also. We were in the mixed reserves, open mix, and the open men's division.
I'll just hang on to this ball for as long as possible.
You just wanted to be in the game, Steve.
Absolutely, mate. Retired from my opens career now, so...
You've had a fantastic career, Steve. How many years in total have you been playing for South Australia?
My first outdoor tour for South Australia was 2003, so 14 tours in that time.
That's fantastic.
116 games.
Stalwart of the game, Steve. Now, and your boys actually travelled to Perth earlier on in the year to compete for the Bingham Cup as well.
We did indeed.
It's a great interstate rivalry.
Absolutely. Really, really good initiative there by the two associations to honour Bruce Bingham, who died late last year.
I know it means so much to both SA and WA to be the title holders of that trophy that currently resides in WA.
Yes, so we'll continue that every year. One of those games, so it plays across the mixed and the men's, and it goes on aggregate.
Yep.
WA are winning both those games though this time around, so the inaugural title holders.
Sorry.
I was going to say, we will play, one of those games was played here, with only the men's travelling to Perth earlier for that training weekend, playing the first leg, and the other leg was played here in the first time that Western Australia and South Australia met in the open mixed competition.
So SA extends their lead 13 goals to 8. So working the ball down, hitting circle edge. New South needs to give the feed. Phil Tarde at the front position. Hosea definitely rolls out, wasn't used.
The last couple of feeds to Grant Mailing on that circle edge has just forced him right off. He lost one out
on the sideline.
On that sideline. And this one he almost lost on that sideline as well. So they just need to be a bit sharper on that swing ball around that circle edge.
So it looks like it's going relatively goal for goal at the moment. Oh, Clark.
Great read there by Clark.
Coming through. I like what the New South Wales footwork call on Clark.
So they're the ones you don't want to give back. You've done so much good work to get that intercept, and you give it back.
Bit of an adrenaline rush.
Still, South Australia having to do a lot of work here to get this ball into shooting range.
Good hand by Clark there too, just over the top, got around and got the tip off.
New South bench looking a little bit worried here.
It's only 4 goals though. I don't think that there's much to worry about. Just what message would you give to the New South Wales boys? Obviously,
I'd let them know they still have a lot of time in this game. It is only 5 goals. If they keep plugging away, score and actually convert those turnovers that they're getting, and make sure they score their centre passes as well. Of course, after that, they've just coughed one up there.
That connection.
So very, and that ball just going through hands.
Talulua just couldn't maintain that ball.
Aaron Edmee just smart enough there not to pick that ball up. He knew it was going to go out of court, and that gives all of his players time to get down and help him out.
He's very savvy.
Could have taken that ball and played on, but he wouldn't have really had any passing options.
Yeah, chose not to. And here you go, like they can't double team the shooters yet, can they? Because they don't know which one's shooting, because both are equally strong.
That's right. Not sure who Mark Gorham thought he was throwing that ball to then. He would not be very happy with himself.
Oh, Lloyd for me. See, that pass for me was on. Kelly was driving down towards the pocket. Lloyd had the early release.
Yeah, it wasn't just quite placed properly and missed the hand. So you've got to know what the players in front of you and beside you are capable of doing. Just like we see there, Lockie Sivic not quite understanding the pace of Tyson Jerry, and Tyson not able to get to that ball and pull it in.
Here comes the zone.
Good hands over pressure there from Aaron Edmead. Gives Mark Gorham the chance to have a go at that ball at the back. Damien Martin just getting suckered into jumping there. Probably could have stayed on the ground.
And Mo Hosius, I think he's now starting to find his eye. We've got 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Dragons currently leading 14 goals to 9. Oh, it's a 10.
Footwork call there as Jared Benbow-Agus tries to keep that ball in.
So this is an opportunity for New South. Coach is screaming for their defensive players to come down court, to cross that transverse line so they can go long down to their front end. There's only ever one option to the ball from the New South Wales team.
Yeah, it makes it hard. It means that person that is the one option really has to be clean with the take, get themselves free, and they do, they have to pick up that work rate. Whereas you have 2 options, each option can be a little bit lighter. Even 3 options is nice. You know, had that back option as a reset as well.
Correct. Hosea very smart there, just coming around at the last minute to come around Martin for that front option. Now let's connect. They broke South Australian centre pass. Replay by Kelly. He's not happy with himself.
Yeah, Kelly's missed a couple of centre passes now. One went out over the sideline about a minute or so ago.
Oh, Lloyd coming through late. Oh, Gorham got a bit of a head check there too by accident. Some big bodies and just colliding. His athleticism is phenomenal in the men's reserves division. Each game has been tightly contested in this division all week. So the top team can play 8th or 9th on the ladder, and it's not a blowout game. It's been crazy how competitive this division has been this year.
Absolutely.
Nice pop up.
It is always one of the biggest divisions.
It is.
Nice.
Last year there were a few teams that sort of did have the blowout games, so where some of the other teams you sort of knew you could rest like potential players.
Yeah, rest and rotate.
Yep, so you sort of
get through that long week.
This week though, every team you've had to just be strong at all times. And the Dragons break that one back. Gorham off the centre pass.
Yeah, we see Jared Benbow coming out for that option, moving a little bit more, but just pushing that ball a bit too far to Aaron Edmead along that goal line.
He does like that backspace hold, doesn't he?
Does indeed.
That's like his signature move, I found, over the course of the week. Good attempt
there.
Yep.
Stays clean enough to not draw a whistle. New South having to go back here to come forward once again.
It's also very New Zealand style to go backwards in order to go forwards. Both shooters are static in the New South Wales lineup. Better movement there, better timing.
Yeah, good drop.
Martin had a good cover.
It's offside call there on the circle edge on Justin Smedley, the wing defence for South Australia.
Tyner just collecting the ball because no one else wants to. While Martin and Hosier have to do the dance in the circle, shooting circle.
Sivic there with some good footwork to get around. This ball's going to have to go circle edge again. Good defensive pressure by the Dragons.
Gooms post.
Force a long range shot.
Oh, why would you not give him the ball?
Nails it.
He has not missed this game. Needs more of the ball.
About a minute left in this quarter. 15-3. 15-12, so that gap is close to 3 currently. Could be 2. It was 4 at the first break. So New South with a good quarter here.
Oh, just Martin just touching the ball. Tempted. Hosier lines up the shot. Tane blocking them out, blocking Sibic out, and Hosier scores for New South.
South Australia centre pass. They want to make sure they score this one. Because New South have won this quarter. And I feel like New South will win this quarter. There's not a lot of time left.
No. 18 seconds left on the clock.
Justin Smedley wanting to bring this ball in as fast as he can.
There goes
Looking
Ed
to that
Mead.
back space again.
Just the
And
intimidation.
So intimidation is a caution there for the New South defender. And that is time on the first half of this game.
So 16 goals to 13. Oh, sorry, 16 goals to 13. New South have definitely fought back hard in that second quarter. What would be the message that you think would be coming from Coach Alex Duncan to the Dragons in the halftime huddle?
Yeah, they have to pick their intensity back up. I think we saw New South come out quite early in that quarter and really put the defensive pressure on. There was lots of noise from the bench. There's lots of noise from the guys on the team, and it sort of rattled the Dragons a little bit. So they lost that quarter by a goal, and New South will want to keep that momentum up coming into this second half if they can. Who knows what's going to happen? They close this gap by 1 or 2 more. It's going to put some real pressure on those Dragons.
Yeah, I thought the New South Wales team did a really good job defensively in that quarter, just really working together more as a unit rather than that man-on-man style defense that we see from the Dragons. So, and I thought Lloyd did a fantastic job bringing the ball back down court. He was probably one of the only ones driving down court rather than that parallel option.
Yeah.
So I feel that New South Wales coaches will be delivering that message about always playing with depth and also just sharpening up their angles so that they don't have a chance for the defender from the Dragons to come through the line of the ball. So we're coming to you live. So we're going to be doing 16 goals to 13, South Australia lead. We'll be coming back to you very shortly after this advert.
Passion, dedication, fun, and fitness. What do all these things have in common? These are all the qualities of Game Clothing and our brand ambassadors, professional athletes Laura Langman and Stephanie Wood. Stay up to date with all the latest ambassador and product news at gameclothing.com.au.
And welcome back to the Janaea Netball Stadium here in Sydney. We are covering the Open Men's Reserves Division. We currently have South Australia leading 16 goals to 13 coming into the third quarter of this knockout semi, otherwise known as the championship quarter. Steve, what do you reckon we're going to see out there? It's tightly contested.
It is tightly contested, and I think the coach of South Australia, Alex Duncan, has made some changes to see if she can, essentially blow this New South defensive lineup out of the water. So the changes that have made, Jared Benbow-Agus has come onto the bench from goal shooter. Aaron Edmead has gone from goal attack to goal shooter. Mark Gorham from wing attack into a goal attack. Justin Smedley from wing defence into centre. We've got a new wing defence on from the bench, Lockie Saboro. And Tyson Jerry has moved from centre into
AMMNA
wing attack. One of these is wing attack, one of these is wing defence. I can't read the change. Let's have a look.
I
Lockie
think it's
Saboro is
Jerry.
wing defence and Tyson Jerry is wing attack.
So AMMNA live TV streaming is proudly brought to you by Game Clothing, as well as Medals to Go, Key Conference, ATPI Sports Events, and Power Shots Photography. Join us on Facebook, Australia Men's and Mixed Netball Association, using the hashtags #AMMNA 2018, #Unmissable, which is the netball we are seeing here today. It's finals. Pressure is on both teams. This could potentially be the last game for one of these two sides right here, right now. Who will it be in the next half an hour? Steve, I don't want to ask you who you're going for because I feel like you might be slightly biased.
Yes, I am slightly biased. Obviously, going for South Australia. See the boys up the front end there getting pretty excited that they hit that goal. It was off a New South centre pass, so really, really good start for them. Changes from Alex Duncan working already, which is good to see. Long cross-circle pass. They're the ones that they really want to avoid if they can. They get dangerous.
Yeah, Malin. He's quite dangerous on the outside.
Grant Malin, he can run, he can close space, and he can jump and contest everything on that circle edge.
Clark just called here there. Talulua will maintain the hold.
And they put the second one in. Good start here from South Australia.
We had a battle of the crowds too. We have the New South Wales support crew behind us and the Dragons on the opposite side. You hear them clapping, seeing them on screen right in front of us. It's amazing to see the support.
Our technician just digging the ball out from between his legs, getting that ball back to the players on court.
You guys just want to be in the game. Couldn't hold on to that one, Smedley.
A little bit of netball karma there. I think that first call was actually out on the South Australian hands. So New South get it back, and probably rightly so in this case.
And this is where New South were getting slightly stuck, was crossing that transverse line in defence. Last quarter it was only Lloyd that was doing the drives, so there's no drives here by the mid-court for New South. Malin doing a good job there, having to sort of get every second pass. Hosier lines up. Oh.
Drops that very short, doesn't he? He's missed a few.
Yeah, he has.
We want to see if there's any change in the dynamic up front. When we were at the halftime break, the assistant coach for New South Wales, Glenn Coleman, was having a good talk to those two attackers in that circle for New South, saying, what are we doing? Let's get it sorted. Are we coming together? Are we, working off each other? How are we setting up? What are we doing? So let's see if they can score a few more goals this quarter.
And it was just because they were just finding themselves at times being a bit static, so they need that shooter rotation just so that when one rolls out, the other one can pop and find their feeder. They're both holding, so everyone's holding front, but no one's actually offering anything. Screen there by Hosier. The feed finds Phil Tane.
Should say that each of these teams played each other once in the minor round.
Yes.
And when these two teams met, it was in round 9, so very late in the minor rounds. South Australia got a reasonably easy win, easier than they're making it look today. That result went 55-39 to South Australia. So New South would be pretty happy with how close they are at this stage of the game.
Absolutely. And do you think that comes with finals pressure? Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. You also got a bit more game time under your belt as well, so you get a bit more used to playing with each other.
Oh, Talulua got a great tip and just hunted that ball down, and Mo Hosier from goal shoot supporting the ball, supporting him on that, flicks it off to Tane. Sibic getting called up for the contact call.
South Australia really want to make sure they press their advantage here in this quarter.
Nice defense by Sibic. Offside call by Malin.
Yeah.
He's not happy, and neither is the ref. Oh, official warning.
Warned for that as well. He does have a caution already. Unfortunately, he took the caution for the delaying play when they returned to court in the second term.
And Lloyd's
Good
done a
hands
good
there.
job.
Yeah.
He, for
that
me,
ball.
has been a standout performer so far for New South Wales. Oh, unnecessary by Gorham. He was never going to get that intercept.
Well and truly offside on that land. He was about 6 feet over the line when he landed.
And the defence doing a good job starting front, so they can't find, all they see is red at the moment, New South Wales. Everyone is just tightly marked. Kelly, drop ball. He's had a couple of them.
There with a great chase.
And he's a fresh set of legs for the Dragons in that wing defence position.
Absolutely, got that tip himself, chased it all the way to that sideline. Nice fresh legs, needs to help these boys work it out.
Oh, is Smedley on the floor? No.
Tyson Jerry there on the floor. Wing attack for the Southern Dragons.
Oh, good read. Great finish by Ed Mead coming up. It's got a high release, doesn't he, on that shot?
It does, has a high arcing shot. Most of the really successful shooters you see from long range have that high arcing shot.
Saboro just called for the contact on Kelly behind the transverse line. Grant Mailing just walking up, just showing I'm not touching him. Starting to get a bit unruly as well here.
Yeah, a little bit. He's being allowed to let go by the umpires here.
And it's just one of those things, you just need to find that control and the discipline. And not to buy into that emotional, sort of get drawn emotionally into the game. Because they just need to stay composed, get back to basics, each player to do their own role for their team. And there you go, Fultane, goal attack, scores. As simple as that, and then straight onto defense. Oh, Smedley just holds that for a fraction.
Yeah, held that for quite a long time and only had lateral options to pass to. They're probably lucky to keep that ball there, South Australia.
Oh, threaded the needle. Still in though.
Great chase there by Mark Gorham. His own fumble.
I like what Smedley's doing. He's before he even got that pass off the sideline, he was looking. Where's the support option? Great hands over pressure from Phil Tane over that ball.
So
created that hell ball.
Really under the pump here, up that attacking end.
They're doing a good job, the New South Wales defence end. Just holding it up ever so slightly. The attack end just needs to finish. That's their jobs. That's their jobs as shooters, to shoot, turn to post and score. I find that they're just using the ball a little bit too much. I'd like to see them go straight to post.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as they get it in Phil Tane's hands, you would think they'd just go straight to the post.
Offloads to Hosier.
He still hasn't missed this game, I don't think.
I haven't got him as a miss yet.
There you go, so New South score that, and it is their centre pass as well.
Having to go back in order to go forwards. Lloyd with a strong drive.
Great take there by Damien Martin.
Does he get asked if he's like same Damien Martin from Perth Wildcats at all by any chance?
No idea.
Ed Mead.
I certainly don't. I've known the guy for a long, long time.
Mailing with the ball. Kelly looks like he's just dropping his head here. He doesn't look like he's have that high energy that he wants. He's had a couple of fumbles with the ball.
A good pick up there by Lockie Saboro. Mark Gorham caught really high in that goal attack roll now. He needs to get himself down court.
Found his way into the circle. Now this would be an interesting matchup with Tululua and Gorham. Both putting their hands up for possible selection into the Australian Sonics side, which will be named on Saturday at the presentation evening.
Good finish there by Aaron Edmead.
Both South Australian shooters haven't missed in this quarter yet. It's been low scoring.
Yeah, 4-3. This whole game has been very low scoring.
Grant Mailing called for the contact call.
Most of the teams in this grade scoring about 40 goals a game. At this stage, 5 and a bit minutes left in the third. We've got one team on 21 and one team on 16, so very low scoring.
You think that's because of the defensive pressure both sides are putting on one another? Or
There's been some amazing defensive pressure. We have time being called here. And some changes for New South.
Wholesale changes too. Looks like Ferguson's coming back on into wing attack.
New goal shooter.
They're big, tall.
So different dynamic now. Lauren Wheeler, the New South coach, may be deciding it wasn't quite working. Or maybe it was a real injury. I'm not quite sure.
Out of court. So we've got the changes. So Modu Ahosia from goal shooter to the bench. Michael Higgins is into the goal shoot position. Mailing comes off in centre, replaced by Brent Ferguson, who is their captain for the New South Wales side.
Great chase there by Justin Smedley. Forces the replay ball on the fumble as he threw it back in.
Offside.
Offside call there on Tyson Jerry. So just giving the ball back to New South too often now, South Australia. They have a 5-goal lead, but it really could be a fair bit more.
I agree. And to be fair, I feel like the Dragons have played the better game so far. And that's explained by the 21 to 16 point margin. New South just need to stay in it together and not to self-implode on court. Just need to, go back to their structures and their processes.
That ball's just too long there for the new goal shooter.
He was front position. I just don't think he was expecting that pass to go to him at all.
No, you really want to work to that circle edge if you can.
Yeah, it's a better percentage shot or pass.
So unfortunately, Higgins not having a good first
Entry.
minute into this game. One dropped over the baseline, and that one not even anywhere near him.
Great stretch by Clark and Talulua.
You'll get it by the end of the game.
I will. I try to make sure I have correct pronunciation for the families at home watching live on AMMNA TV or via the Facebook link. These boys work way too hard to have their names mispronounced. There we go. Good connection with the shooter-to-shooters. Phil Tane lines up, passes it.
Great effort there by Lockie Sivic. Doesn't quite manage to reel it in.
I don't know why they didn't just shoot it. But it was a free shot.
Sometimes you want to handle the ball too often, refeed too much, or go do too many shooter-to-shooter balls. Brent Ferguson on the circle edge there called for holding. So Southern Dragons come up with the ball.
Southern Dragons just maintaining their composure out on court. The New South Wales are really reacting to every single call that goes against them. And
good dump over Clark's head there by Aaron Edmead. Gets the ball to Mark Gorham. Pretty close to the post.
Great rebound. Shot, yep.
Puts that one in. He's pumped.
He is pumped. He knows.
Absolutely pumped.
He knows that they've got them slightly. I think they may extend this now. I feel like they've got the momentum and the rhythm to get through now. Oh, as I say that, commentator's curse.
Absolutely. Just need to be a little more patient there.
And so you see the New South Wales guys.
Oh, great pressure from Damien Martin coming out there.
But they're both starting wide, so the wing attack and the goal attack are on the outside channels, so there's no one driving middle lane for the New South Wales team. Got to get more defensive pressure coming up. Oh, heavy check by Lloyd and Jerry.
And yeah, Tyson getting the call going his way there on that occasion. So 2-on-1 at the top of that circle area. We'll get this ball into Mark Gorham. I think if he hits this one, there might even be a fist pump from him.
Oh, you reckon? Is he a fist pumper?
He is a fist pumper like you wouldn't believe. If this goes in, watch for it. It'll either be a clap or a fist pump. It's the clap this time.
That felt like very anticlimactic, Steve.
Every goal. If he had a shot, I'm sure it would have been a fist pump.
Yeah, okay. Watch for it for next time. Ferguson, good circle edge. That's what they were missing earlier in this quarter. Phil Tane lines up. He hasn't missed a goal yet.
Mark Gorham's an absolute character. He's also the Vice President of the South Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Association.
Fantastic. He's incredibly strong. Great circle edge drive. Baseline.
Great baseline drive there.
Clark having
just
a touch.
gets a good tip to it, doesn't he? Unfortunately, it still goes
Offside.
over the baseline.
Lloyd with the offside call, trying to corral around Jerry.
Someone's going to pop here for South Australia. Goes back to the centre in Justin Smedley on the top of the circle.
Off.
Oh, but
You could tell as soon as it released that he wasn't confident with that shot.
everything's just falling South Australia's way, you feel, in this last couple of minutes here.
Just the momentum swung in their favour.
Yeah, New South really should have picked up that baseline. Off the post, if he puts this one in,
Oh,
I feel there'll be a fist bump.
Oh, the
still
double
no fist
clap.
bump.
The double clap.
We're maybe building up to it. He's building up to it for us. I have to go out there in three-quarter time break and have a word to him.
And say, look, buddy, I'm telling you all about your fist pump. You're not giving me the fist pump. Good ball into Higgins. Footwork.
Stamp. So Higgins really not having a
The
good
impact.
quarter, and the impact that New South probably want. Lucky Sivic throwing that ball long and away there.
Now, this may sound radical, but I know that Talulua has also played in the shooting circle earlier on this week. So I wonder if they may look for an alternate option in the New South Wales end in their front end.
So New South not able to convert. That is the three-quarter time break. Have South Australian men's 24, New South Wales 17 in the reserves division.
And you just see the different energies with the two teams coming off court. Like the Dragons are pumped, they're ready to go. They feel like they're on their A game. 1 quarter left, 15 minutes to go before they go into their major semi-final. Whereas in comparison, New South Wales are coming off a little bit solemn, heads are down. They just need to, it's 15 minutes and it's only 7 goals. It's totally achievable with 15 minutes to play.
Absolutely. We'll have to have our eyes on the New South bench and see what Coach Lachlan Wheeler and Glenn Coleman come up with. See if some bibs come off, see if some changes get made.
I think there will be some changes in here, and I think they'll look to get some more energy and some fresh legs, because the impact players that they brought in really didn't have a full effect yet.
That's right. They're going to have to throw everything at it now.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll come back to you after this short ad break for the final quarter of this men's reserves division semi-final. And welcome back to the Janaea Netball Stadium here in Sydney. We've got the hometown team in Men's Reserve Division New South coming into their final quarter against the South Australian Dragons in their knockout semi-final. South Australia currently leading 24 goals to 17. I'm joined by Steve McInnes. He's biased towards Southern Dragons.
Absolutely.
He wants the Dragons to get up, and we're in for a cracker of a final quarter.
Yep, 7 goals, 15 minutes. Needed to chip away. South Australia with a good start there, though. They get that first centre pass converted nicely. So we have had some changes.
Yeah, we have. I can see.
Received a sheet, so I'm not sure who has come on where. But we have a new centre and a new wing defence for New South Wales at the very least.
So I can see also that Ed Mead has also gone back into the goal shoot position. Oh no, that he stayed. He was in goal shoot last quarter, wasn't he?
He was with Mark out. Mark Gorham out at goal attack in front of him. So the SA boys keeping a steady lineup. Haven't seen any defensive changes from South Australia, so those two boys doing the whole job
So
for the whole game.
changes for New South Wales. We've got Ethan James from the bench coming into centre and replacing Brent Ferguson. I've got Talulu has come off from GD, replaced by Brendan Lloyd. And a new wing defence in Mitchell, I think it's Melbourne. Let me just find that correct. McBurney in wing defence for New South Wales.
Dan Reddings, the Southern Dragons vice captain, just doing some toweling of the floor there and getting a good cheer from the SA crowd.
You can see a fair few of them in the crowd, can't you?
Great feed there by the captain, Mark Gorham. He'd be very pleased with these boys. And finishes off the shot for them. There's a little fist pump.
Oh, I missed it. I missed it.
It was a very sneaky little one just down by the side, but there was a fist pump there.
Oh, hopefully he does it again. Okay, Kelly with a good tip there.
I promised the crowd at home he'd give us a fist bump. Hopefully we see another one towards the end of this game if South Australia keep this lead.
So who's impressed you so far, Steve, in this match, in the 3 quarters that we've seen already?
Look, it's been a really scrappy game. There's been lots of ping-pong netball. Good hands there by Clark. Maybe he's
Potential
looking for a player
candidate.
of the match.
I've also enjoyed Ed Mead as well. I feel his game has been extremely strong this game.
Yeah, always very strong. The 2 boys down in defence for South Australia have also done a great job. Lockie Sivic got quite a few intercepts early on. Damo got that. Damo Martin got that good block as well, and a couple of intercepts too. So great effort there by Justin Smedley running through centre, just chopping the arms a little bit of his direct opponent there.
The New South bench are just yelling and screaming at their shooter Higgins just to post, just to hold. I don't think they realise that Damien Martin has a great vertical jump if he needs it.
He does indeed, and there you go. As you say it, forces that ball over Higgins' heads because they just put a little bit too much on it from that circle edge. This ball now not a throw-in anymore because of the instruction on court.
Now,
Lockie Sivic manages to thread that one under some hands.
I'm interested to see what the change from Lloyd from wing defence to goal defence does against Gorham. I think that might be a potential key matchup where they're trying to keep Gorham's activity levels from the shooting circle to a minimum, because Lloyd did a great job as we speak. There he goes with a touch on the ball early, but just obstruction.
Yeah, just a bit expensive here in defence, unfortunately. They create the 2-on-1 now, and that ball just goes to Aaron on a nice split along the goal line.
He has a good split and a great shooting technique.
2-on-1 should always really be scored from the top of that circle there.
Couldn't agree more. Oh, off balance, still connects though to Gorham. Oh,
Drops into the backspace once again.
Clark had a look at it.
Yeah, Clark's definitely onto it. He knows what they're trying to do with that. Just couldn't quite reel it in completely.
Because Gorham and Ed Mead together both play more lateral rather than up and back. They sort of go left, right. They split the circle quite nicely.
Oh, replay call there just on that stretch. Slight fumble from Mark Gorham. That ball was held for a long time there. New South in a little bit of panic. Find some space now.
Kelly gets caught up and, yeah, there's a big hand clap there by the wing defence to Boro.
Reels that in and
back up.
Elevates nicely. Ed Mead under the post on his own. Clark closes the space, but not quick enough. Good jump there.
He's got to get out of the way. Can't just stand there and staring at him. Now this is where South Australia has just really started to pull that lead and extend that lead out to 10. So if New South want to do something, they need to start it now. 10 minutes to play.
10 goals, 10 minutes.
They don't have time to play around with the ball like they have been all match. They need to go get into the shooting circle. Shooters need to turn and shoot. Sounds simple.
Does.
But takes hours of practice what these shooters do. Give him the ball. Bill Tane still yet to miss. They need to feed him. Stepping. Yeah, stepping call. This is an opportunity.
Absolutely. They scored the last one. They score this one. I have a couple in a row.
They're missing that first That first, second pass, off pass, placement, poor.
Again, just too much for Higgins. He's had 4 or 5 now go out over that baseline because they just can't quite read where to place that ball.
And he's such a good target, so I don't understand how they can't see him or find his space. I wonder if that's an experience
potentially.
issue.
Just haven't trained in those positions or trained together for quite long enough to know exactly where he wants that ball placed.
Clark again getting another touch, and Edmead is extremely agile.
Gorham there just getting collected, coming off the better of the two.
Yes, he did. Lloyd looks like he's just regathering. He's a bit ginger.
Always wanting to work that ball to the post, Gorham. He was never going to shoot that.
No. Edmead converts.
Saboro there with the contact off the ball. Gives it to New South in their attacking third.
Subic doing a good job. Just needs to keep himself upright.
Tane with the shot now. See if he can keep his record intact.
I'd like to see him just go for it. First miss.
Kirsten.
You did curse him.
Shouldn't have said anything.
They both
Another
missed.
miss from Higgins.
It's something that's potentially let them down too in comparison to the Dragon shooters who are extremely accurate.
Yeah, the New South bench.
They're not happy.
Not happy at all. About how long it's taking to score, I don't think. There they go, they finally get it.
Well, they don't have the time, you know,
they don't
time
have
is
the
not
time
on
to
their
waste.
side.
Absolutely, 7 minutes 49 now on the official clock here at the stadium.
And I think the Dragons will be smart and know that, so they'll just take their time, which forces New South Wales to create the turnover.
Oh, lucky Sibic manages to get that one in. Gives a little face to the crowd, like, ooh,
Gives them a
don't
little
think I got
wave.
that. And the South Australian crowd goes
Lloyd.
crazy.
I like what Lloyd is doing. He's doing a good job. He's done it in wing defence and now in goal defence. Maybe a bit out of his depth, like too little too late to make the switch so late. But personally, I think that the issue for New South Wales hasn't been their defensive end. I think it's been in their front end. Just not treasuring possession. Oh, Martin.
Great tip there from Damien Martin. Great chase from Justin Smedley as well.
Oh, they're doing great.
It's some fantastic work.
Oh, gets the intercept.
Gives New South
McBurney.
a chance. McBurney, yeah, really well done there by him. New South need to make sure they set this up properly and get the score on the board. Still 10 goals, 6.5 minutes. They have this shot from right under the post, so you hope they'll pull this back to 9 now.
6.5 to go, plenty of time.
Just need to score every time they have the ball in their hands, essentially now.
Yeah, no time to waste. So that New South definitely need a stop on this one.
They have to be perfect. And for the Dragons, if they can just keep the ball in their hands, New South won't have the time to score.
They just need to score, the Dragons. Keep applying that scoreboard pressure. So we've got Edmead starting front position. Clark's trying to move around.
Umpire Dan Rowe just setting this up in the right
Great
spot there.
feed.
It's so easy to feed Aaron Edmead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's had a
chips that one in.
fantastic game. Yeah, because Aaron Edmead's actually shot incredibly well as in the goal attack. So the difference has been in the goal shooter position and the volume.
Yeah. New South has just struggled to get that ball in. There's been some good defensive and mid-court pressure from the Southern Dragons to give themselves more shots and more possession.
And something that I've noticed too is that the Dragons tend to have a lot of support. Each pass, like if they're going out of court, there's someone backing them up, where
Absolutely.
you don't get that with the New South
Yeah,
at the
they
moment.
have the real hunger, don't they?
They do. They want this game. They've played so well all week. They went down against Victoria last night, so they want to have that rematch.
Stepping call there on Higgins. Unfortunately, just changed feet as he landed.
Smedley comes over to say hello to us. Got the holding call on Sibic. I expect Phil to pass. No. Gets his own rebound.
Yep, misses another one. Misses another one.
You
But
put the
that's
mocker
gonna be
on him,
called back.
Steve.
I absolutely did, didn't I? He's probably trying to rush a little bit now. Conscious of the time, trying to get those shots up a bit quicker. See if they can steal some vital seconds to catch this game up.
Holding the ball. So that was one of the Dragon centre passes. So they need to score. Kelly off the centre pass. Connects in. Needs to find balance in circle edge. Loose pass.
Just going too wide there.
So here's where New South need to just lock in the defense. Now they're looking like they're trying to set up a potential mid-court zone. Don't know if Phil Tane or Kelly are aware of it because they're doing a man-on defense.
Obstruction on court there called by the sideline umpire, Dan Rowe. South Australia doing well here to take a lot of time off this clock. 3.5 minutes on the official clock here at the arena.
Do you feel happy to say that you could potentially feel a little bit more comfortable breathing easy or not yet?
Oh, no, I'm breathing pretty easy. And as I say that, Aaron Edmeade drops that ball out of court, unfortunately. I think now, given the scoring rate, to pull this game back now for New South is just going to be near on impossible.
Baseline drive. Oh, great pickup by Martin.
And every time Martin does that, it's going to make it even harder.
Oh, exactly. Where did he come from? Just threw the arm out. Long ball as
that ball there, a bit optimistic probably from Justin Smedley.
Footwork.
Could have just thrown that as a fake and then refed someone else, but footwork call. So New South again gifting that ball back. Just too often.
It's the unforced errors from New South Wales that have, and those little 1%ers that we spoke about earlier, that have really been costly for them this game. I don't know if that's fatigue as well after having such a tough competition this week.
Yeah, this end of the week, there's definitely a lot of fatigue that sets in. You can't chase as hard and as fast as you did in game one.
Gorham lines it up. Oh, good.
Big high fives with Tyson Jerry there.
Good intercept there by Lloyd.
Yeah, all of South Australia and New South getting stuck on this close sideline there on that centre pass.
Higgins retains the ball, gets... Kelly is not liking the body work that is being applied to him by
Saboro. Saboro, isn't he?
And that's what a good wing defence does.
That's right, you want to see them apply that circle edge pressure, that mid-court pressure.
Oh.
Almost too cute there from Tane to Higgins.
I thought that... I actually thought he would have read that. Oh, great shot. Wide pass, Phil. Just take the shot.
Yeah, he's back on now. He's back on. Only cursed him for a couple.
I'm sure you did that on purpose. They've got to move. The attackers have to go. Oh, it's playing on a little bit too much. I don't realise the whistle's being called. Yeah.
It's been called back here outside the circle.
And shoot. Shoot it. Oh. No
nice
elevation, just a jump and a little bit of a shoulder check by Higgins.
Good drive through Justin Smedley.
Long ball.
Looks long.
Good feed. Smedley's been on all game, hasn't he, for South Australia? Started in wing defence, moved into centre.
Yes.
He's done a power of work. I know we haven't really spoken of his name much, but that's because he's connecting and doing all the things well that a centre does, connecting defence end to the attacking end.
Oh, and he gets a pick up there and a nice feed into the undefended Aaron Edmeade under the post.
Beautiful high
30
shot.
seconds to play, and
Can
SA
they get
Men's
one?
have put it out to 9 goals now with their centre pass. So they could finish up here with a nice 10-goal win.
Edmeade's been great. Take that shot.
Gone long range.
Couldn't finish.
No, and couldn't pull the rebounds in it
10
either.
seconds.
Gorham had a fair bit on that rebound. Long look in. Damien Martin with the challenge. Great touch. And a good pick up there by Lockie Sibic. So,
well done,
the
Dragons.
SA Men's reserves
That's
getting
fantastic.
through to the next phase.
They earned that right too. They earned the right in that game. They did everything that was required of them. Slow to start, but strong in every single quarter.
Absolutely.
Wow, so who would you pick as a player of the match?
It's going to be hard. It's got to be either the front end or the defensive end for me from the Southern
Yeah,
Dragons.
I think so
Aaron
too.
Edmeade or Damien Martin.
Damien
They both
Martin.
did fantastic. Damien in that last couple of minutes got a couple of real good touches. Aaron finished off nicely as well up front. So I think I'll leave it up to you because it's my voice.
Yes, I think I'm definitely going to have a chat to shooter Aaron Edmeade personally. I really liked what he did out on court today. He was strong. He was covering, his accuracy was there. His movement in goal attack, and then when he moved back into goal shooter, that shooter circle rotation was on, and they just found the feed so easily and finished his shots.
Fantastic.
So
Excellent work.
Unfortunate for New South Wales, this is now the conclusion of their Nationals campaign in front of their home crowd. But well done to the Southern Dragons, winners of this men's reserve semi, 33 goals to 24. We'll see if we can get a quick chat to Aaron once he's finished celebrating. And we're coming to you live with the player of the match, goal shooter for the Southern Dragons, Aaron Edmeade. Well done, congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, God.
How did you find that match out there today?
God, it was physical, tough. We knew New South would come out with big bodies, and we just had to play smart and keep it cool. So
I've been told you came down from the Open Men's last year. How do you find men's reserve division this year?
I'm absolutely loving it. Like, it's a fantastic comp. Like, everyone's so the same level of physicality and skills, and it's absolutely fantastic to just regather myself really and pick myself back up. And it's been fantastic to be back down.
Now, you had a fantastic shooting game out here. I don't know exactly the percentage, but I know it's at least 90s.
Oh, let's hope so.
And the absolute volume of shots that you're having and the movement that you have out on court is fantastic. What do you take into the next game?
Pretty much keep the high on the shooting, make sure that I do what I do for my team. Make sure I'm the option for them and just do what I can.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck
Thank
for
you
your
very
next
much.
game.
Hopefully.
Thank you. That was Aaron Edmeade, player of the match from Southern Dragons for the men's reserve division.